Directors of Celero, Mr. Patrice Mori and Marc Gallet, IBA Regional Africa Director Tara Sargent, Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, sponsors of this forum, international delegates and regional attendees from Madagascar, Congo and Seychelles, permanent secretaries, Mr. Chatou, Chairman and Director of both the private and public institutions, the participants from companies in Mauritius, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. We've just been informed that due to unforeseen circumstances, that Honorable Xavier Duval, Deputy Prime Minister, will not be able to join us and to present his apologies. And the Minister Kunju also will be a bit late and will join us to this function. On behalf of Celero Group, I am very pleased to welcome those international partners and trainers from IBIA, all the international delegates, as well as the regional and local participants. A warm welcome to you all. Celero Group started its operation in the express courier and freight sector and gradually expanded in shipping agency, transport, and more recently in training. As a regional player with offices in Mauritius, Madagascar, Réunion Island, Celero Group also identified the need to invest in learning as a key element to create awareness towards the new ocean economy industry. With its excellent network around the world, Celero Training signed earlier this year an exclusive partnership with IBIA, International Bunkering Industry Association, the leading bunkering education partner. Our first educational training series was held on Monday and Tuesday last, with a record of participants over 50. First time ever in IBA training courses history. And as Captain Peter Ford, the CEO of IBA, puts it, the Mauritians are so eager to learn, and it bodes very well for the capacity building of the maritime industry. This first regional forum on bunkering has been made possible today thanks to the support of the government, the Indian Ocean Commission, European Union, and the sponsors. You're very present, Mr. the Minister, and official from your ministry at the launch of this forum shows the commitment of the government to the development of this industry. We also wish to thank the Ministry of Environment and the Ministry of Education for their participation in the different sessions on environment and capacity building. And we believe the strategy to drive this ocean economy is set. This forum is also an opportunity for partnership of the private sector and the regional institution. Allow me to thank the Indian Ocean Commission, thank you Mr. Rajmoabia is present, and his partner, the European Union, for their commitment to the event and their support. Thank you Madagascar, Seychelles, and Comoros Island for your participation and contribution to the emergence and development of the regional activities, including connectivity and sea-based industries. We do believe that this partnership between the private sector and the regional organization will contribute to the advancement of projects of common interest. We are indeed delighted that we have had the support of various sponsors, namely State Trading Corporation. Thank you, Mr. Abdullah, present. The Vivo Energy, the Mauritius Commercial Bank, the Mauritius Freeport Development, the State Bank of Mauritius, the Mauritius Ports Authority. Thank you, Mr. Shankar, for being present. Mauritius Union Group, Indigo Hotel, Mauritius Cargo Community Systems, Amoil, and the Board of Investment. You have enabled us to welcome guests from all over the world. Thank you. We must now play our role. Learning about this new industry is great, but it is not enough. We are here to make use of the excellent networking opportunity. And we think, more importantly, is to engage into exciting debates on various key topics during the World Cafe session. This will give an opportunity for all of us to share and to learn, and hopefully result in an industry analysis of our region, together with a roadmap towards this promising industry. The development of the bunkering industry is a game changer, both in terms of economic perspective and job creation. We aim to achieve the highest standards of professionalism, productivity, and safety, while ensuring sustainable development. Competitiveness is key to our success, and education is a vital component for success. Mauritius is already a leading player in various sectors of the global business industry. We hope not only to integrate the bunkering industry to our country's portfolio, but also to attract world-class companies in setting their regional headquarters in Mauritius. These companies can benefit from our competitive tax structures, open exchange control, rule of the law, and investment in research and development. They can also take advantage of our excellent intellectual property legislation, arbitration framework, and competitive financial services. The opportunities are immense, and they are yours. And I think we have to take advantage. I'd like to thank you all for your presence today. The Captain Peter Moore, CEO of IBIA, the International Bunker Industry Association, which acronym stands for I Believe in Action. So he's going to have to share with us his vision of a bunkering world. Captain, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you for that introduction. I would like to offer you all a warm welcome to each one of you to this first ever bunkering convention in Mauritius, managed through Solero in cooperation with the International Bunkering Industry Association. I think I'll start in terms of just explaining a little bit about who the International Bunkering Industry Association is. We have 700 organisations and members across the whole supply chain of marine fuel supply as our members. We have at one end the oil producers, and at the other end we have the engine manufacturers, from the wellhead to the engine. And indeed, our organisations and members make up supporting organisations who stand at either end and to the sides of the supply chain. People like the ports authorities, the legal side of things, marine insurance, surveying. There are so many facets of supply of marine fuel, and this spans across 66 countries at this moment in time. We've just added our latest country, Mauritius, to the organisation, and a phenomenal 53 members have signed up to be part of the IBIA family. And what do we do as a family? We look after, we care, and we stand alongside as a young one grows. And like any family, and like any child, they need support. They need encouragement, they need equipping, and they need to adapt good practices, good ways of operating. And that's what we're here for. Yesterday and the day before, we had a training session that brought together some of the principles of bunkering, what it actually is, what the challenges are in that process. We also looked at structures to enable good regulatory supporting legislation to be put in place. And throughout today and tomorrow, we further look to facilitate that process, to bring in pictures of the world economy and the impact of that, the trade, and what is happening in the world at large within the context of shipping and marine fuel. So it's a great pleasure for the International Bunker Industry Association to have been invited to such a beautiful part of the world to host both training and a convention. And Mauritius has already set records with the 53 attendees in our training course. And I believe that that's just the beginning of record breaking in this field. This is my first visit to Mauritius, but in a short space of time, I've been struck by hospitality and warmth that I've received from everybody that I've met. It's been quite incredible. And there's a rich heritage here on the island and across the Indian Ocean community. Mauritius recently had its 300 years celebration of founding of this country in 1715. And over those years, Mauritius has been significant as a port on the spice trade route between India and the Far East, on into Europe. It supported US and UK and other navies of the world in protection and peacekeeping and supply. I'm not surprised that it's known as the star and key to the Indian Ocean. And it's time once more to take that key and unlock the potential that Mauritius has to offer. To make those aspirations as a marine services hub, to realise that star quality that singles out Mauritian hospitality and can-do attitude. Mauritius has so much to offer. It's truly an opportunity for all. I know how much the Mauritian government fully supports all aspects of developing the ocean economy in this region. Every year, 35,000 ships pass these shores, plying their trade between Asia, Southern Africa, South America, and in particular, there's a growth taking place along that trade route between South America and Asia. Bulk carriers carrying grain, iron ore, coal to develop the Far East economy, to grow that economy. And within that trade, there's opportunity. Opportunity is so important. Opportunity needs to be seized. But how do we do that? How do we intervene? How do we encourage ships to stop here on their route? Do you know, it's not why do we want to encourage vessels to stop, because for every $100 that's spent in the economy taking fuel, there's another $100 available to add to the local economy. Indirect services, things like agency, transport, fresh water supply, chandlery. But there's additional services as well. Because when a ship stops, there's an opportunity for the crews to change. So there's people flying into the international airport here. They're utilising the hotels. They're spending their money. So there's a win-win scenario. A successful port needs not only efficient cargo handling facilities, deep shipping channels, key capacity, but it needs a high-functioning ecosystem that supports that. The decision for any shipping company to regularly call at a particular port is based on efficiency. It's based on service excellence. It's based on security. Good services, good port agents, good ship supplies, good logistics. For Mauritius to become known as a bunkering hub, it needs those fast, efficient services. It needs quick turnarounds. It needs service supply with minimum delays, because there's cost to shipping if it's not served quickly enough. But there's job creation opportunities. It's not just the passing trade that offers those opportunities. The investment by the Mauritius Port Authority to cater for increasing container traffic and enabling Port Louis to handle the largest generation of post-Panamax vessels adds to that, developing a transshipment hub. Therefore, we need to plan, we need to prepare, we need to implement structures, organisations. How's this delivered? You've got to build a team. You've got to build facilities. You've got to build services. But most important, what you're actually doing through that is you're building a legacy. A legacy of future generations. A legacy of job opportunities. A legacy of sustaining systems so that expertise can support the port industry, the marine services, and it goes off into other directions. On Thursday we've got a session specifically for young people to know about the opportunities that are within the marine space. The opportunities of a good, sustaining career, whether that's on ships or as part of the family within that marine space. This is exciting opportunity for Mauritius and for the organisations involved in it. It's a pleasure to be part of it. I do hope you enjoy this first Mauritian International Bunker event, and whether you travel far or live and operate in this Indian Ocean community, I hope you're going to be challenged by the information that's there. I hope you're going to develop your understanding that little bit more. I hope you're going to be informed. I hope you're going to be encouraged. I hope you're going to be inspired to the next step of what Mauritius could do in opening up an ocean development. Thank you.
Great pleasure to address you on the occasion of the International Bunkering Industry Association, IBA, Regional Forum 2015. I would like first of all to thank the IBIA experts for holding this regional forum in Mauritius, as well as the Celero Group for organizing such an important conference on the theme which is high on government agenda. And the agenda, you know, it is Mauritius, a bunker hub driving the ocean economy. Mauritius has a promising future as an ocean state, endowed as it is with a vast maritime zone of approximately 2.3 million square kilometers, and given its strategic location in the Indian Ocean. This government is committed to making the ocean economy an important industry to sustain economic diversification, job creation, and wealth generation as well. Ladies and gentlemen, the aim of government is to make the shipping and port-related activities a key contributor to the ocean economy, creating vast opportunities for thousands of new jobs. Indeed, the recent economic mission statement of the Right Honourable Prime Minister underscores the prominent role of the ocean economy, particularly in terms of the creation of 25,000 jobs in the short and medium term. Currently, as rightly pointed out by my predecessor, some 35,000 vessels are plying close to Mauritius, out of which only 740 vessels called for bunkering in 2014. This number is expected to increase significantly in the short and medium term as Mauritius aims at increasing the current contribution of the shipping and maritime sector by incentivizing more vessels to call at Port Peace for ship registration, bunkering, transshipment activities, ship repairs, and so on. We are targeting to attend 7,000 vessels in the initial phase. With the confluence of exogenous factors such as booming South-South trade and Africa catching up rapidly and strategically located along the South-South maritime corridor, Mauritius is definitely poised to become a strategic bunkering hub. Moreover, the promotion of Port Peace as a transshipment hub for container vessels and fishing vessels, and also cruise hub, bodes well for the development of the bunkering business. Ladies and gentlemen, in recent years, the bunkering business has been growing very rapidly as more vessels are calling at the Port Peace for bunkering. This emerging trend is to a large extent explained by geography and exogenous factors. However, despite liberalizing the bunkering segment and introducing the 380 CST fuel oil, which represents about 75% of the global bunker sales, it is felt that challenges still persist as bunker sales growth remain sluggish for the current period. Over and above, bestowed with a favorable geography, the market outlook is also rooted in the internal market dynamics as price, quality of products, service, and efficient delivery are the main prerequisites for increasing sales. Ladies and gentlemen, with 400 ports around the world, and I believe it has increased in the recent past, we are operating in a highly competitive market. Our market is still nascent, as there are only a few players compared to around 70 players in Singapore, with sales volumes totaling 47 million tons against 300,000 tons in Mauritius. Yet, we accept the challenge. There is a room for new players. As Mauritius boasts excellent economic and political fundamentals, government is leveraging its locational advantages to attract key players in the industry, such as Oil. Concurrently, besides promoting offshore bunkering activities and addressing land constraint by expanding port area, it has been found that barging operations are deemed instrumental for expanding this business. And with 3 barges in operations, we only achieved around 300,000 tons. One could guess the number of barges that will be required to achieve our ambitious target of 8 million metric tons. Ladies and gentlemen, as the maritime realm is vulnerable to various ship-related risks, such as contaminated ballast water, marine and air pollution, international shipping is a heavily regulated industry. Besides the development aspect, my ministry is mandated to regulate shipping and related matters to ensure maritime safety, maritime security, and the prevention of marine pollution from ships. Mauritius has acceded to major IMO conventions, including MARPOL. We are in the process of upgrading our legislations to include the requirements therein by drafting a marine pollution bill. Moreover, we have drafted a marine pollution liability and compensation bill to cover requirements under CLC, International Convention on Civil Liability for all oil pollution damage, and International Convention on Civil Liability for bunker oil pollution damage. In line with bunkering initiatives, in addition to STCW basic safety training course, the MNTA is preparing to conduct ratings courses to allow seafarers to serve on bunker barges, thus creating employment opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, before concluding, I would like to stress that both operational and legal predictability are key to success. With a sound framework and legislation to tackle issues like marine pollution, financial risk, the ocean economy holds huge economic potential for the nation. In view, various stakeholders in the bunker supply chain I would assure the industry players that every effort will be undertaken to meet the needs of all stakeholders. We will have no stone unturned to transform Port Greece into a world-class bunkering hub. Hence, I sincerely wish you all a very fruitful deliberations and good luck, and I thank you for your attention. Thank you.
On the occasion of the opening of the first regional forum on bunkering, organized by the International Bunker Industry Association in the Indian Ocean region. I wish to thank the committee and representatives of the IBIA for the organization of that forum. The timing is opportune as Mauritius is embarking on an ambitious project to transform Port Louis as the leading petroleum and bunkering hub in the region. Ladies and gentlemen, on 22nd August 2015, at the launch of the High Harbour Committee on Achieving the Second Miracle, the Second Economic Miracle and Vision 2030, the Honorable Prime Minister has reiterated the commitment of the Mauritian government to enhance the lives of the population and instill a new impetus in the country's economy. New pillars for economic growth shall be developed, which will judiciously exploit the competitive positioning of our nation in this region of the world. Mauritius doesn't possess any natural resource. The first Mauritian economic miracle was achieved in the 1980s by relying first and foremost on the one and only but very precious resource of Mauritius, that is our population, the land-based human resource. We can no longer rely solely on our population and must try to exploit also our maritime territory, which covers an area of around 2 million square kilometers, figuring amongst the largest in the world. Mauritius is thus poised to project itself in a leading role in the maritime sector. A number of maritime and ocean-related activities are a mere step ahead. In this context, a new master plan is being prepared for Port Louis with some 6 poles of development, one being dedicated to the petroleum sector. In the same way, the port limits have been extended to provide for sites which would allow the encourage and furtherance of petroleum-based activities. A number of initiatives have been engaged by my ministry and the State Trading Corporation, such as a study of the local bunker sector, feasibility for the setting up of an oil terminal in Mauritius, and construction of additional tankage facilities. My ministry is working on a global plan for the petroleum sector, covering principally security of supply for local consumption, trading in the region, and of course, bunkering. With expected growth, there might be a need for the setting up of a governmental institution dedicated solely to the petroleum sector. Let me now dwell a little bit further on bunkering property. We are fully aware that there is today a unique opportunity to leverage our geographical location and business-friendly environment to position Mauritius in a pivotal role on the oil route in the Indian Ocean. The return of the Cape on the prime maritime route between the eastern and western hemispheres will serve as a stepping stone to reach our objectives. The bunker market remains price sensitive to the extent that a few dollars difference may either fix a deal or drive a client away. In order to render Mauritius more attractive as bunker destination, the bunker trade has been liberalized and incentives provided through the reduction and removal of charges and duties. Moreover, in line with the policy of government to promote ease of doing business, a new license for bunkering activities is issued within 5 working days, and clearance for an import permit is issued within 4 working hours, subject to the application being complete, of course. Our country has moved from a situation of state monopoly, where the totality of bunker fuel was imported by the State Trading Corporation, to a liberalized market, albeit partially at this juncture, in which market forces are allowed to drive the business. The oil companies have thus the opportunity to import bunker fuels directly on their own, besides purchasing from the STC for resale to their clients, thus enabling the oil companies to charge more competitive prices to their own clients. The number of vessels which took bunker in ports increased from 1,855 in 2013 to 1,973 in 2014. Amongst these vessels, in 2013, 689 called at ports only for bunker, whereas in 2014, 721 called only for bunker. This represented an increase of 6.4% year-on-year from 2013 to 2014. The volume of bunker fuel supplied to ships has increased from 269,324 metric tons in 2013 to 287,546 metric tons in 2014, which represented an increase of around 6.8%. This volume represents a mere 30% of our short-term target of 1 million metric tons of bunker exports per year, and which should be well within our reach. Ladies and gentlemen, the bunkering business is still in its infancy. We will encourage players to bring in new business. In March of this year, letters of intent were issued to 2 entities for carrying out offshore bunkering activities in ports. One of them has indicated that it will start its operations in the first quarter of 2016. My ministry is following up and is coordinating with agencies concerned so that the target of the promoter is achieved. A strategic approach is much needed with a view to positioning Mauritius as a regional hub in bunker fuel trading. In line with the vision for a sustainable bunkering industry, we have called upon international expertise from consultants in the sector. To this end, last year, Mr. John Yu from the Port of Gibraltar, and who is among the speakers of this forum, undertook a study of the local bunker sector. I would wish to extend our appreciation to Mr. Yu and the Gibraltar authorities for their assistance. Consultations were carried out with the relevant stakeholders. A report covering inter alia, a regulatory framework, oil spillage contingencies, and environmental protection aspects on the booming Mauritian bunkering industry has been submitted. It will constitute an essential element in the global plan. Indeed, our objective is not only to achieve growing business of bunkering, but also to ensure at the same time that the products are of good quality and standard, so as to maintain the reputation of Mauritius as a reliable bunkering supplier and to attract further business. All the operations and activities related to bunkering will have to be and remain safe and secure. In case of any mishap, there should be rapid and adequate response to prevent any damage of the environment. An urgent upgrading of storage facilities is indispensable. Current storage capacity, or rather the shortage thereof, is restraining our potential for growth of any significance. Similarly, the limited number of bunker barges remains a serious logistic constraint. I welcome here the efforts of all majors to upgrade their equipment. No later than this afternoon, a new barge will become operational. Furthermore, as industry operators, you will agree with me that the bunkering business involves costly operations, where the players are expected to be suitably equipped with resources to face numerous challenges and constraints. The growth in this emerging sector of the economy will create a potential for jobs in the new fields of the oil sector, such as management, procurement, distribution, oil pollution response, operation of barges, vessels, and storage facilities. Currently, Mauritius does not have the required expertise in these fields, and it has to depend on foreigners who have such competencies. Thus, Mauritians will have to be trained to acquire the relevant competencies and expertise for a career in the oil sector. I see this opportunity of today's platform to appeal to the young generation to cast a new glance at the new opportunities to be offered. There might be a need to review the list of the priority fields of study to include petroleum and bunkering-related subject matters. The unemployed might be interested to join that emerging sector after a reskilling process also. In that perspective, I would wish to place on record the initiative of the IBIA to organize a basic bunkering course of the 2-day duration prior to the holding of the conference program. To conclude, ladies and gentlemen, the ultimate objective of the government is to establish a new pillar in the economy that will sustainably reinforce the position of the country as a maritime and petroleum hub, service the region, as well as generate a variety of activities related to the provision of goods and services to boost the economy. I will invite the participants at this regional forum to ponder over the ways and means for Mauritius to ensure that products sold by the international market be readily available in the most competitive, properly regulated, and safe conditions. On this note, I wish all participants a fruitful forum, and I thank you for your attention.